Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go now on this Hump Day Wednesday. And it was a pretty chilly start out the door this morning. But I tell you what, with a lot of bright sunshine as we go through the afternoon, our daytime highs locally in the Metroplex will be soaring up into the lower 70s. I think you're going to like that. Bit of a breezy wind through the afternoon, kind of a cooler wind for another day in a row. But really from now all the way through Friday as we begin to close out our work week, I think you're going to like the overall forecast. Still some indications by this upcoming weekend, specifically late on Saturday. Our next opportunity of rain and storms is showing up, and still at least some potential for a bit of a hit of severe weather with that as well. Again, we'll talk about that coming up. But this is where we started the morning. And again, out the door, Jack, it would have felt good. A lot of locations in the mid to upper 40s. DFW, by the way, officially only down to 50. But again, you can see most of us across North Texas were somewhere in the 40s. And in fact, Graham out in Young County was essentially the frosty spot this morning, down at 38. So again, with the clear skies this morning, now transitioning to sunny later this morning into the afternoon, radar is completely quiet locally here in North Texas. And well, even across the southern plains, simply put, nothing really going on. Our big upper level storm system that did bring us the active weather and is kind of bringing us the cooler temperatures, at least for the last day or so, continues to spin off to the east. Look at all the active weather today from the eastern seaboard, the northeast, all the way down through parts of the Florida Panhandle, even the Florida Peninsula eventually. And look at that snowstorm now developing on the northern sides of Chicago. This is a major upper level storm system. But take a look at this here. Before we had a big deep storm trough, now we've just got kind of a closed off area of low pressure, more of them almost like an inland cyclone. You can in fact see the little donut hole right there moving through the Great Lakes region. That weather maker though obviously continues to push off to the east and away from us. And truly, we're done with it. Our weather complications from that are now exiting the region. But our next upper level storm system is now taking shape just off the Pacific Northwest coast. Area of counterclockwise spin now becoming visible. And again, that's going to be inbound, like I mentioned, for Saturday, later in the day on Saturday. So part of the weekend, in fact, you could almost say it's going to be a 50-50 weekend because most of Saturday is going to turn out. Most of Sunday is going to turn out. It's just going to be late Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Saturday night that, again, we may have some rain and storms around the area. But between now and then, again, talking about tomorrow, Thursday, even talking about into Friday, everything really looking good here across parts of North Texas. You can see that even on the jet stream flow, right? Big upper level storm system pushing off to the east, right? We're no longer concerned with that. Here's a bit of a ridging pattern, so that's quieter weather today, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But then just over my shoulder, this is going to be the upcoming weekend, and that's a pretty powerful storm system. But the latest details on that, the latest data this morning is showing that the storm system may be a little more displaced off to the north. If that is the case, the opportunity of severe weather could potentially also become a little further displaced off to the north. Now, we still have an opportunity of some active weather, meaning rain and storms, possibly even some severe weather. Again, if the track of that storm system is a little bit further to the south, don't be surprised if that area of red, Jimmy's, just a little bit further down to the south. Regardless, we'll track that carefully as we get a little bit closer to the weekend. So this is Saturday. Again, through a good part of the day, in fact, even as we start the day, we'll just call it mostly cloudy, but there it is. By 5, 6, 7 p.m., a line of storms does develop. And again, that line of storms could be strong to possibly severe, again, with the wind and potentially even a hail threat. And then again, you can see as we go through Saturday evening, Saturday night, that line of storms races off to the east. And then, well, as we get into Sunday, again, we have improving weather. So upper 60s to the lower 70s, those will be fairly common for daytime highs around the area. Again, winds will be just a touch breezy as we go through the afternoon. Not impossible to maybe even have a couple wind gusts up around 25. It is still a northerly wind, so kind of a cooler wind. Again, there's a peek at your Wednesday evening with temperatures easing down through the 60s. Again, cool, but no real weather complications. And then another night where overnight lows are generally in the 40s around the area. But tomorrow we truly begin to really turn the corner, with our temperatures. In fact, back into the mid to upper 70s. Back into the lower 80s by Friday. And then here comes that next weather maker for Saturday. Opportunity of rain and storms late day.